Alright, right now it is pretty early in the morning, and I want to make this episode a little bit more important. They just released Terrifier 3, right? And they're releasing a new Funko to go with it as well. And the Hot Topic that's in my city announced that they're reselling them at retail price right now. So for this episode, we're going to go to Hot Topic. We're going to get it. So for this episode, I'm going to be special. We're going to go to Hot Topic. We're going to get the Art the Clown Funko to make sure that it matches the theme for the day. Just got here to Hot Topic. And just like that, y'all, bag has been secured. Alright, you guys. So, we have come to probably the most excited movie I've had for this Halloween season. And that is going to be for Terrifier 3. I'm super excited because I went to go see this movie and at opening night, which was like Thursday night when it came out. And I haven't stopped thinking about it ever since I got time to do this review, which is like, it's Sunday now. So, but oh my God, dude, this movie was something else. It was really good. It paid off super well to the previous films. And I'm just so excited. It was like the best way to kick off the Halloween season in theaters because there's nothing better to kick off in theaters versus watching at home and you get a full crowd of people watching all new media together. Really, really love it. By the way, y'all, I'm working on getting a new mic to use for these recordings, but for right now, we're just recording off the phone. But I also want to show you guys something cool. That Funko Pop that I bought in the very first start of the video, right? It is actually in celebration for the Terrifier 3 review. We have the Art the Clown Funko they released for Hot Topic Scare Fair 2024. This one is actually from Terrifier 2. I don't know if it's focusing on that. But yeah, I really want to get more Art the Clown Funkos. Like I want to get the bloody Art the Clown that they have on the back there. Or maybe just the one with the knife. But yeah, I was so excited that we got this. And I was like, dude, and the movie just came out. And we're going to do a review on it. My first review I did, which is the last one, which was on Salem's Lot, I wanted to organize it better because I feel like I was just kind of like ranting and talking about the pros and cons, but I didn't really organize it better. I want to make it easier for you guys when watching the video so you could skip to your favorite part or the parts that you're most likely concerned about. But we're actually going to have it categorized in all of these chapters, so if you do want to skip to that part of the video anytime. But with that being said, let's get into the first part of the video, which is going to be the spoiler-free review of Terrifier 3. Alright you guys, so if you guys are familiar with the first and second iteration of Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, then Terrifier 3 should have no joke when it comes to getting used to the gore and the cinematics of the previous movies that it was really good and installed in the franchise so far. But the thing that brings the attraction to this movie, because every movie has its thing that catches people to go and watch it, is definitely the gore aspect of this movie. They run on a really small budget for a reason, and it's because these movies cannot get approved by bigger studios for how crazy and how over the top they want to go with the gore. If you enjoyed that aspect of adding that kind of flavor to the Halloween mixture that gets, cooked up, then you won't be disappointed for Terrifier 3. Let me say that. There is, from start to literal finish of the movie, there is so many good scenes that fit the Terrifier classic gore aspect of the films that were in the previous ones. Does it complement the story well? I will say, if you have not watched Terrifier 1 and 2, you probably will not understand most of the story in Terrifier 3. Now, am I saying you have to watch it? Absolutely not. You can still go watch this movie and enjoy it before the reasons of the gore. Because I feel like in the beginning segment of the movie, it sets up Art the Clown, or the villain, which is our antagonist in this movie, way better than it did in the previous two films. And I think it was for the reason of getting new audience members ready for this movie when they go and watch it. Art the Clown is just pure chaos and evil. and he is all about the gore, the murder, and having fun. I will say in this movie, he was very, very good. The guy who plays Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, did an amazing job. He did a really good job, as he does in the previous two films. And media, even out of the movie, are loving this guy. Like, such an impact on the horror icon franchise, just as good as Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and he's getting up there. You know, he's getting recognized, and people are loving the energy that he brings to the screen when he's in these movies. One thing I will say about this movie is that there are some missing points that could have been like better refreshed or better like pulled out if they were revealed in a better way, and I'll get more into that when I'm explaining the spoilers of the story. But it still doesn't fail. The overall movie did really, really good about fleshing out the story and kind of keeping a fresh flavor to it as far as like new people watching it, you know, without, you know, do I have to watch Terrifier 1 and 2? Like I said, you absolutely do not to watch and enjoy this movie, because this movie is a pure nightmare fuel Halloween movie. And even with the Christmas theme, it could definitely be counted as a Christmas movie. Some people might be turned away by the over extreme gore in it, which I can see and can explain that could be a big thing that people absolutely hate about it. Now, there are some people that I've met that just absolutely don't like gore. And I'm just like, what kind of a person goes and watches a horror movie and hates the gory part of it? That's like the best part of the horror movie, is that it's so gory, gross, grotesque, whatever. But if you have an easy stomach, if you got really bad, you know, gag reflexes, whatever it is that makes you sick, you see the slightest little drop of blood, you know, you see any kind of gore in the movie theater and you're, this movie's not for you. I would say that. It's really good. I would recommend go watch it with your friends so you can get multiple reactions and stuff. But this movie, it does play with that. Whenever I heard the reviews coming out about this movie, about how it was making people faint, leave, walk out, throw up, gag, I was like, that is so bullcrap. Like, did they get the most sensitive people to go watch this movie? And then when I watched some of it, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can see how this is affecting people. But with that being said, I highly recommend watching Terrifier 3, even if you've never seen Terrifier 1 and 2, or if you're fans of 1 and 2 and you're looking for some reassurance that number 3 is going to be good. I will say you are in amazing hands as far as to moving on into third iteration of Damien Leon's Terrifier 3. But now with that being said, we're going to get into the other chapters of the video, which we'll talk more about spoilers. So if you are moving on in this video and you have not seen the movie, or you plan on going to see the movie and you don't want to be spoiled, this is your warning. There are spoilers ahead in the rest of this video. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into the next mix of the story. The story of the movie of Terrifier 3 was really, really well. I really liked the direction it went in, as far as like picking up back with Sienna Shaw and her brother Jonathan. And it continues to flesh out more of like her family, a little bit more of the story between her father, and just overall how she is dealing with herself, her and her brother, the trauma and crazy experience they went through in Terrifier 2, also the loss of their mother and all of their friends. By the way, you guys like the Art the Clown drip, you know? Also, with the story, the main thing I really liked was how much they were showing Sienna's fear of Art and the fear of losing more loved ones. She was really concerned over her brother. She's really concerned over her new family members, everything. And then something about her knew that Art the Clown wasn't dead. She didn't seem relieved. She was always on edge. And I really liked that. They were really showing it so well. The traumatic experiences of seeing her loved ones die and her blaming herself for it, showing up in her friends, her mother, even in her dreams when she has this thing. Because I bet surviving an experience like that can be extremely traumatizing, you know? Like, I can't even imagine going through all of that and then still having to go through more. But the one theme I really liked about this is that this was during Christmas. So obviously during Halloween, they probably think that Art only comes out on Halloween. He's a Halloween clown, whatever. So whenever Sienna gets the huge shock that she sees him in the mall as Art the Clown for Christmas, it kind of gets her ready for what's to come. So she is extremely terrified, and I really love how much they show Sienna's fear, because she knows exactly what Art is capable of versus everybody else who are victims. to come, and they don't even know what's going down. So the one thing I really loved about it though was how well they were trying to get Jonathan to move on by him going into college, and he's kind of growing up, but he needs to grow up, but this trauma is like still holding on to him to something that him and Sienna shared together. And Sienna was in a facility for all this stuff to happen to her, because this is some crazy stuff, you know, she literally almost died in the second movie. The one thing I really disliked about the movie though, when it comes to the final act of the movie and we start seeing, you know, everything play out to what Art and Victoria had planned for Sienna, because she's the only surviving victim, so technically they have a connection together, is that they did reveal that Jonathan died. I feel like they missed so much potential to show us exactly how they died. If they would have just showed us how they died in that part, or at least like show like a chase or something, I feel like that could have made the movie like a tiny inch better, but it's also fine without it. It's a huge revealing factor to reveal that Jonathan's dead now. So Art the Clown is going like the extra mile as far as taking everything from Sienna before killing and making her suffer. We didn't see the full-fledged out on how he died. So maybe it's something, you know, Damien Leone's saving for the fourth movie, which he did say that he is wanting to do a fourth movie. He wants to do 2 more movies before he finishes the franchise. So I can see how hopefully we get a flashback to how Jonathan died, or maybe he might even come back. Who knows? Jonathan's character is such a staple in Terrifier 2 and 3 to Sienna, so her losing them is kind of like a big L. Okay, sorry guys, my camera light was dying. So I don't know if you could tell like the darkness going down, but I went to go charge it real quick. But yeah, so I feel like Gabby was a really good introduction to this story for Sienna, just because it brings in a much younger presence, and it's like the future. So Gabby is like really connected with Sienna. They had the past together where they hanged out, would do things together, and Sienna looks at her as like, this is something I need to protect. This could be the rest of my life as I start my new life with my family here. When we reach the final segment of Terrifier 3, that quickly overturns when her aunt dies, the husband dies, Jonathan is dead, and Gabby falls into the portal or whatever happened that she fell into and is stuck with only Gabby. So Sienna has to look for Gabby now. But at this part of the story, oh my God, she literally has nothing left. Her brother's dead, her family's members are dead, all of her friends are dead. Art the Clown has taken everything from her, but she also took something from him, which I did see that he was left a little bit scarred towards that he lost his neutral host. So if he dies again and there's no host, most likely he's not coming back this time. So I think they're probably going to explore that more in the Terrifier films, because I believe Sienna should be the next host. When it was revealed that the sword does a lot of damage to the host and Art the Clown, it was kind of crazy, because that was like the first time we saw Art actually terrified. So the fact that now Sienna is like a threat to Art and could really potentially end what he is as far as like his reign of terror, that brings in what's to come for the next Terrifier movie, and it sets up exactly the best part of the story of what could happen, you know? Where does Sienna go with no one left but only her sword and the presence of Gabby still looking around? And what happens to Art when he has no host and he really has to play it safe when it comes to reigning chaos and being chaotically gruesome? But obviously the ending shows that his love of murder and chaos is never going to go away, as he is truly always going to be the Terrifier. Alright, y'all, so now I'd say versus the previous movies, does this movie do really good? Absolutely. You guys should definitely watch it. Because if you love the first one, you know, it brought you to the second one, and if you love the second one, it's going to bring you to the third one. The cool thing about this, which I was like kind of turned off right at first, was the Christmas style they were going with. I was like, why are they doing a Christmas theme? But actually, I liked it. It gave more measure to what could carry the theme in this movie, which was Christmas, and like Art the Clown with Santa and all this. It was so perfect. It was so good. As far as how well this movie is performing in these 3 series, all of these movies are good. Now, I personally think the second movie is my favorite, but compared to the first and second movie, the third movie is almost up to par with the second, in my opinion. I really like the second movie, just because of the Halloween style. Everything they really went with was really good. And I don't know, maybe I just need to watch the third one again and just give it another shot. But that brings us to the final rating of the overall Terrifier 3. I give Terrifier 3, so we're going to rank all three of them, right? So you know my ratings exactly what exactly it is. Terrifier 1, we have it at a solid 9 out of 10, because it had good pacing, had a good story, it was fun, it was a little scary, gory, all the stuff perfect indie Halloween movie could have. Second one, Terrifier 2, a 9.5. The kills were crazy, the characters were good, the story was good, the acting was good, and it's really good for an indie horror film again. Now, Terrifier 3, I give it a 9.3. The only reason because it doesn't hit the 9.5, it loses 2 points, just because I personally wish we got to see Jonathan die, or we got to see how Jonathan got harmed, and it wasn't set up as a surprise with just like his skull. I personally think that we could have got more Jonathan in the movie. I hope we get more Jonathan in the future movies, which I think we should. But as far as, like not seeing it just being revealed that he's dead, I was kind of disappointed in that. I really wanted to see survive, or not even survive. I wanted to see him, like, how it played out. But, that might even show up in the fourth and fifth movie, so I'm not even that crazy about it. I was just disappointed that I didn't get to see it visually. But they might even explain it in the fourth and fifth movie, how he died or whatnot. Or it might be a flashback. But with that being said, I hope you guys love Terrifier 3 as much as I love Terrifier 3. And it was such a good movie. If you guys have never seen any Terrifier movie, go check it out while it's in theaters. The theater experience is way different than watching it at home. If not, binge the first two and then go watch the third one. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. We will see you guys later.